You are tuning into the Extra Ember provided by the Inferno Blazer Sports Show with your host Kyle Hawthorne and two special guests.
What's up, Blazer Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Extra Ember provided by the Inferno Blazer Sports Show. I'm your host Kyle Hawthorne, and all I gotta say is we got a good one for you today. As for a sports recap, we're going to talk about the volleyball game on Wednesday very briefly. VSU loses the pink out game 3-0 versus Auburn Montgomery, shifting their record to 15-10 overall and 7-3 in the conference. Their next game is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. at West Florida. But after that's out of the way, like I said, we got a good one for you today. Got two guests for us, Mr. Tyler Pierce and Mr. Ronnie Nelson of the VSU Rugby team. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good, Kyle.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, thank y'all for being on the show. We're going to have a little bit different format today than what y'all are used to. This is going to be kind of an interview format, and we'll try to keep it as conversational as possible, but we do have a set number of questions, and we'll go as long as y'all want to go. So, first off, guys, just tell me a little bit about yourselves, and then after that, what got y'all into rugby?
All right, well, I transferred here from Reinhardt University. Used to play football there. After finishing up with football, I needed something to do in my spare time, so I found the rugby team and, went out and tried it out.
Oh, yeah? What about you?
Kind of similar. I played football for Valdosta State University. I think you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Back in 2018, and then they said I had a neck injury. I think it's spinal something in my neck. And so I didn't really take that very well. So I decided, okay, I'm still going to play collegiate sports.
Of course, yeah.
And one of the only ones that was really available other than bass fishing was rugby. And I was like, okay, I'll watch that on TV.
Oh, yeah. You proceeded to pick a sport that was even more violent.
Yes.
But, yeah. Tyler, did you get a ring out of the 2018 season?
I did not. I got hurt before the season even started, and I was a freshman.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Yeah, we don't really care." So
get this man a ring. This man a ring.
That I didn't really ask for one either. I'm not gonna boast a ring that I barely even did anything.
Yeah,
for.
I definitely understand that. So, what is rugby? I know a lot of our listeners at home really don't know what rugby is. I know a very small amount for working with you guys last year, but what is rugby?
Ronnie?
Oh, goodness. Initially, it's just like football, man. You just run around on the field. You split up into forwards and backs, kind of like your skill position players and your lineman players. Difference, though, is that you can only move the ball forward by passing it backwards. Tyler, you want to elaborate?
Yeah, there you go. I got you. Yeah, so basically it's a lot like football and soccer mixed. So
yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, so it's like football, but instead of after you get tackled, instead of everybody stopping, you keep on going.
Yeah.
So like after you get tackled, there's this thing called a ruck, and it's basically a board drill in the middle, and you fight for the ball.
Yeah, just fight for the ball.
Yeah, you just go. It's like a car crash, honestly, for 80 minutes.
Yeah,
but it's a fun car crash.
Yeah. So what is the difference between regular rugby and then rugby sevens?
There you go. So just the amount of players that are in.
Amount of players.
Yep. So right now we're in 15s. So there's 15 people in the field, and the time is different. So in 15s, it's 40-minute halves. There's only 2 halves, and then in sevens, it's 7-minute halves. So, but you play about 4 or 5 games a day in sevens.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was about to say you get through that pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And what is a scrum?
There you go. So, Ronnie's looking at me. Ronnie's never been in a scrum. I have. I'm a little bit of a larger person.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you in one.
Oh, yeah. So,
a
scrum is whenever one of the teams drops the ball forward. It's called a knock, when they pass the ball forward. And so basically all the big guys bind up into this kind of bridge.
Yeah.
And then the small guy, Ronnie, will put the ball, he's called a scrum half.
Yeah.
And he'll put the ball in the middle, and we kind of just push each other for the ball. And there's this position called hooker. in there, and he will kick the ball back, and we'll kind of restart play from there. It's like a jump ball.
Yeah,
almost.
something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. What about scoring? I know we talked about scoring a little bit before the podcast started today. I have no idea how that works.
Okay.
How much is a score? I know we have the extra point. Just explain all of that.
Very similar to football. Very similar. So a try, our version of a touchdown, is 5 points, and the extra point is 2.
Okay.
So at the end of it, if you get a try, an extra point, it's 7 points.
Yeah. You still get 7 like football.
Yeah, just like American football. And if you guys get a penalty, and you have a guy with a leg, you can opt to shoot a penalty kick, which is he would just kick it from a tee, and that's 3 points, just like a football field goal. Or if you want, you can, if you're really that guy, you can out of nowhere just drop kick the ball, and that will be 3 points as well.
You just drop kick it and hope it goes through the uprights.
Yes. So drop kick, if you don't know, is the ball bounces off the ground and then you kick it.
Yeah.
Drop kick.
Yeah. And then, if I remember correctly, the field goal, if you will, that's always determined upon where you place the ball down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the extra point. So say Ronnie gets a try and he puts it in the corner, you have to kick it from the corner.
Yeah.
Now you can shoot it as far back as you want, but it has to be on that end.
So that's kind of why everybody wants to kind of be in the middle when they place the ball down.
Yes.
Yeah. I figured that's how.
As somebody that kicks, I love that very much.
Yeah. You left-footed or right-footed?
I am right-footed.
Right-footed.
Barely right-footed.
Barely.
I was just really good at kickball as a kid, and we didn't really have a kicker. And so I have this saying, and Ronnie can attest to this, it will go very far, but we just have no idea where it's going.
It's very true.
Yeah. Yeah. That checks out.
Yeah, sometimes it goes in.
Yeah. All right, well, what about the community that VSU Rugby has created for y'all? I know you're a very tight-knit group. I know it kind of goes a little bit hand-in-hand with Greek life sometimes, but what can y'all say about the community of rugby?
It's very similar to a fraternity, you know. We're very close together. We, of course, go out and socialize together. We have our own rugby socials, just like Greek life has socials.
Yeah.
Ours are very popular. They're very ominous throughout the community.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, social's a light term. We get active for sure.
Yeah.
I guess for me, since I've been here for a while, I'm old.
Bless.
Yeah. So it's funny because the community has changed a little bit. We were very anti-frat at one point.
Yeah.
And then a little bit, I guess, background. So during COVID, we were told rugby is not really going to be a thing much anymore. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to join a frat now. And then join the frat, but I was like, yeah, I still want to play rugby. And then I got named president, and then now half the team is frat guys. So, you know, it's a good recruiter, and we get people out there. But also, it kind of extends out of VSU. So we have a pretty good alumni base. They're always down to. We have an alumni game every year, and they kill us every year. It's gonna be great. I actually get to play for the alumni this year.
Right.
So yeah, that's gonna be amazing. And then, but since especially if you play outside of VSU like I do, especially over the summer, I travel usually. I play. I don't even know why I'm looking at Ronnie, but I travel and I play like in Florida and North Carolina and Alabama and all that. And so we have people that help us out from out of state, like kind of a small plug here. We do have a shop on kcwdesigns.com or something like that. It's in our Instagram, and you can get VSU Rugby merch. That's our small plug. But he's my coach for a semi-pro sevens team out in Jacksonville.
That's pretty cool.
That's one of the neat things I think about rugby is makes it kind of different from other sports is that, you know, after the game when you have the socialists with another team. So when you're playing these other teams, you know, after all the hate and stuff on the field afterwards, it's like a brotherhood almost. So the community extends, like Tyler was saying, you know, past the VSU, past even our alumni, just like everywhere. Every team we play. So the more you play, the more kind of connections you get.
Oh, yeah, no, it's amazing because, like, I remember I broke my nose during a game, and then because somebody headbutted me, and then I drank some certain beverages with them later. And like we were best friends after that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I really think you can tell, like, you know, with how small rugby is, with like the amount of people on the team. It's not like football. You know, football, you got 100 guys out there, but what do y'all have, like maybe 15?
If we're lucky.
We, at our max this year, had 25 guys.
25? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we knew that 7 of them were never going to play a game.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You know, just how small it is, and it's easier to form that community. Mm-hmm. And I can really tell, you know, outside looking in, that y'all really do have a good community, and that's really good for y'all. But looking into the actual games, y'all played last week and lost to Memphis 74-7.
Yeah.
What can y'all tell me about that game?
I actually have no idea if it was actually 74-7. We got on the field a different score. It still wasn't good.
Yeah.
Either way, we still.
Yeah. I just pulled that score from the Instagram.
No, that's fair. Yeah. No, that's fair. So that's a huge difference between VSU Rugby and a school like Memphis.
Yeah.
They're an actual program. So we have a shout out to Coach Nita, who was my teammate back in the day.
Yeah.
Who is 26, just turned 26, vapes on the field while coaching, and does his best. And then they have 4 coaches that travel in buses, and they also have people from not America that play. I stiff-armed a dude to the ground, and then he was like, "Oi, mate!" And then I was like, "Oh, okay, bud."
Yeah, it's like going to the tennis matches and hearing somebody from like Europe or something.
Yeah,
like,
normally there's like a bunch of Europeans. You're usually screwed. But yeah, so you know that, and Memphis has this great program with the inner city kids.
Yeah,
Memphis is not a great town, by the way, if you don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I realized that.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like a great town to live in, and they bring them up with rugby at like a very young age. So like a bunch of them have been playing rugby forever. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is there's a different level.
Yeah.
To what it is.
Yeah, they're definitely a different level. They're number 5 in the nation actually right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very good. But you know, I think we still had some bright spots in the game. We also had some injuries and some guys out.
Yeah, injuries will get you. So like the style of play compared with both teams, what was the difference in that? Just very conservative, or
I would say we just outclassed a little bit, especially in the scrum and their rucks. They just knew what to do a little bit more. Yeah,
I'm not in the scrum anymore, but we didn't do very good in the scrum. Their form was a little bit better. Obviously, the experience showed that, and we have some injuries, us inexperience out in the wings normally where I am. So normally what happens is what kind of helps us out sometimes is I'll just run over a guy and then, you know, just run very far and then pass it out and somebody will score or I'll score. Yeah. But Memphis, they're pretty smart. They shot up at me, and they would be 3 guys on me right when I get the ball. And so, you know, maybe I'd run over one guy and then there'd be 2 other guys to replace him. So, you know, that didn't help. And one of our best backs, name is Austin Fosdick, got hurt early in the game. I think he has a broken tibia right now.
Ooh.
Didn't think that was the injury when I saw him, but you know, he tried to play it out, but it didn't really work for him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's one of our better tacklers too.
Oh yeah. Injuries okay, yeah. Injuries will kill you. But before we get into next week's game, or at the time of this recording, that is tomorrow, we're going to take a quick break for station identification. We'll be right back.
Ladies, gentlemen, and podcast listeners all around, you're listening to the Extra Ember from the Inferno Blazer Sports Show. For all of our Valdosta State athletics fans, check out the Inferno on our platforms including Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Amazon, and Google. Check out our latest episode, Off to the Races, with Jalen, Chris, Kyle, and Jack, and all of our episodes so far on the Inferno Blazer Sports Show. And now, back to the Extra Ember.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Extra Ember. And guys, let's turn our attention to the next game. VSU 3-1 at the time. Y'all are going to host Tennessee Tech tomorrow with a 3-2 record coming in at 12 p.m. What adjustments do y'all think the team needs to make in order to be successful in this game?
Win a scrum. That's what we need to do.
For sure.
Yeah. Tennessee Tech is... So I guess I'll backtrack to Memphis. They were the same size as us, roughly, just overall. Tennessee Tech has one guy who I believe is about 6'7", maybe 270.
Pretty much group.
He's a group, but he's also not good at rugby. He's just really big. But they usually win their scrums pretty well. So we'll see what we have to do in there. Maybe I'll have to get in there because I got in there once and we had a pretty good push. But yeah, also our fly half and our scrum half just need to get the ball out a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Tennessee Tech, since they are a lot bigger of a team, they're usually not in the best shape physically. So I think throughout the day or throughout the game, hopefully they'll probably get super tired.
Yep. Need to space the ball out for sure. Get out to our wings, use our speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whose responsibility is that?
That's Ronnie's, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Him and our new scrum half, Jordan, it was their first game ever playing that position, and they didn't know they were playing that game until
I think Wednesday.
Yeah, like the Wednesday before.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of our old fly half, who's pretty good, he's one of our USA South players, we'll get to that later, got a red card and now can't play for the rest of the season.
Wow.
So, you, Bobby.
Call the man out, okay.
Just censored myself. So, yeah, that kind of screwed us over. He was one of our leading tacklers, too, I would say. I don't even know if we really have that stat. But if you looked at the film, he's usually there.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a menace. And so one of the big rules in rugby is don't pick the guy up and drop him on your neck. In every game, he picks the guy up and drops him on his neck.
Yeah.
And we've yelled at him,
Yeah.
I don't know how many times.
So you mentioned a red card, and you said the guy's out for the entire season.
Yes.
How does a red card compare in rugby with a red card in soccer?
So very similar. So I think in soccer you also get suspended a game or two maybe if you get a red card. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's usually like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
It's
get
just the one
tossed,
game?
and then
Okay.
I
Well,
believe it's
so,
just you're
yeah.
out of that game.
Yeah, so
sister got one for fist fighting.
What?
Yeah, soccer. She plays for the high school. She's got in a fist fight. Got a red card.
If she didn't get suspended?
No, she did.
There you go.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in rugby, a yellow card is like in hockey. So you get put in the sin bin for like 10 minutes. I got a yellow card the other day. It was kind of BS, but it's fine.
It happens.
And then a red card is you're out, and depending on the severity of it, you're usually suspended for a few games.
Yeah, and we're just at that, time in the season where it's kind of winding down, and he's pretty much just out for the season.
Yeah, I think his suspension was 6 games to 6 weeks, depending on which one was longer. So
Yeah.
he probably won't be back for a while because he decided to put a 90-pound kid on his neck.
Oh.
It actually sounds worse than it actually was. It really wasn't that bad, honestly. But
I thought it was a clean tackle.
I thought it was too. But also at the same time, he definitely had some airtime
Yeah,
for that. And I'm cool. What a guy.
Yeah. So as we finish up this question, looking ahead again at this next game, what are 3 words that I would kind of ask y'all to say that y'all need to improve on and what you're looking for in this game?
I would say structure, timing.
There's I don't know if you know math. There's a third word in there that you probably need to put in there.
Well, if you want to contribute at some point.
I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, we're waiting on yours.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just me.
Yeah, you have one more to go.
Yeah.
Oh, rip. Okay.
Just a reminder.
Okay.
Yeah.
The CTE's kicking in.
Oh,
Yeah. I would say integrity. So.
Integrity. Good.
Yeah.
What about you, Tyler?
pass the ball. We see to pass the ball more.
Pass the ball.
Yeah, some people are just trying to play hero ball out there.
Really?
Yeah.
And who was
Oh, probably me. Definitely for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I'm about to say that's self-inflicted.
Well, I mean, there's film of it working. So, we have some other guys. I'm not going to call them out because they don't deserve it. Usually, they do. But Well, there's a couple that do like to play hero ball sometimes that don't need to be playing hero ball because exactly when he does, he gets the ball absolutely stripped from his hands and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just gonna leave that there for the rugby
yeah.
for the rugby people because they know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And then we have some guys that like to try and run and then they get pushed out of bounds and that's a turnover in rugby. That's a no-go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. So the next question I have for you is, well, let me tell you about it. Let me tell the listeners. So 4 of your players were invited to the USA Rugby South Panther Invitational on December 9th. What can you tell me about this event and what it means for these guys?
Yeah, I don't know why I looked at Ronnie. Anyway.
Tyler, you're one of them, right?
Yeah, I'm one of them. Yeah, my bad.
Let's hear it from you.
Yeah, my fault, Coach. So basically, USA South, it's a really good, I guess, team organization. It's a select side. So it's like the best players out of the, guess what, South of America.
Yeah.
And, it's I want to say it's almost a feeder team into, there's a lot of guys that came from Team USA, from USA South, and there's a lot of MLR guys that go through there. So it's really just a big honor. This will be my first time with USA South, but my second time playing at All Stars. Last year I got to go play with the Southeast Bears.
Yeah, that was in Texas, right?
That was in Houston. And
yep.
I don't know if I'm going again. We'll see. That was kind of an expensive trip.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. I'd rather take the Charlotte trip. And also, I think we are also going to Tampa. I don't know when that is, but I believe we are playing in Tampa as well.
Yeah. So these are basically just all-star games. Essentially get your name out there, potentially get up to the professional level. Yep.
So it really basically just says like, hey, we're really good at rugby. And so they actually just emailed our coach like, hey, we need some big guys. And then we got 4. We got a few. So, it's a big honor. Nothing to sneeze about. And so we'll see what comes of that. Hopefully we'll get with us going there. Hopefully that'll open the door for more guys to go in the future.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Definitely something to aspire to for someone on the outside looking in. But yeah, like I said, I think it's good publicity for the team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is also fun having other guys in the All-Star. Not to dig the team at all, but whenever I was at Houston by myself, it was kind of like I'm just fiddling my thumbs half the time because everybody else has like at least 1 or 2 teammates there, and it's just me. And nobody knows who Valdosta State is.
Yeah, getting called back to that VSU Rugby community.
Yeah. So, nobody knows how to even pronounce Valdosta, by the way.
Yeah, it's Valdosta.
It's Valdosta. A lot of them, they're like, where is Valdosta? And I was like, I don't know where Valdosta is, but I do know where Valdosta is. And that is, have you ever heard of Florida? And they're like, yes. They're like, basically that, but in Georgia.
Yeah. All right, so basically, this last question I got for you, guys, let's get real. What can VSU do for y'all to elevate this team? Because right now, y'all are a rugby club.
Yes.
What do y'all think VSU can do to elevate this team to the point where maybe you're on the same level as a Memphis or Ole Miss or something like that?
Ronnie, you can go ahead and go first because you're kind of the future, and I've been here for a while. I'll let you take this first.
Bless. Some things that will help. I mean, money is always the kicker,
Yeah.
Getting the financial support. I know a lot of times we have trouble finding transportation. So if we could get a team bus, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have some policies in place that technically, yes, we can get a bus, but it's so hard to get them because it goes back to we have to use VSU bus drivers, and they never want to go with us, and then we got to go pay for their hotel, pay for the food and everything. I'm like, dude, we can barely afford our crap.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all are representing Valdosta State, and from my perspective, it looks like y'all are representing them, but it really looks like they're not holding up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, it's a big thing. We don't receive that much money, if any. Actually, we haven't received a lot of any money from them, even though it's literally put our tuition to help out club sports.
Yeah.
And we're the only club sport that travels.
Exactly.
And at swim club, they're coming back though. They're coming back. I don't know what their mascot is, but they're coming back. So shout out swim team.
Yeah, but I mean, y'all are out playing Memphis and Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
That's not shorter.
And beating them, by the way. I just want to put that. Up.
Y'all are playing these big schools, making Valdosta State known. Probably even more than some of the lesser known regular sports that's actually quote unquote official sports on campus. And I think that's on Valdosta State. They got to do better.
Well, I know we would like some notice, man, some acknowledgement, maybe on some of these pep rallies or something, maybe a little nod. Some people out there.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't know, yes, but also at the same time, I feel like we wouldn't have the freedoms that we do to do certain stuff if we get everything. And part of me likes it, dude. I love, now granted, I hate taking my truck. If you've ever heard my truck, it's the worst sounding truck of my life.
It's not good.
Ever. It's not good, but it gets you there.
Yeah.
It gets you there. So transportation I love help with. In New Jerseys, our jerseys have been here since before me. So I got here in 2018, so we can just,
Rugby's a big toll on the body. It's a bigger toll on the uniforms.
Oh, yeah, we are down to barely any jerseys. And the women are worse. They only have 15. Now, granted, they don't play 15s really. They're a whole nother, they're trying to build their brand here.
Yeah.
So they use our jerseys for picture day, which I think is funny. But, it is what it is. But, yeah, and we have sponsors and everything too. But, we can only ask for so much. And we can only get so much from people. And they're mainly like alumni that sponsor us or like parents that have companies or something like that.
Yeah. Do you want to shout out some of your sponsors?
Of course. Let's see. Shout out Edge Performance. There is a guy named Austin Grant who is a rugby god, by the way. Chiseled, great specimen of human. Founder of VSU Rugby, actually. He has a small clothing brand, and he helps us out a lot. Let's see. There's Mid Street Bar and Grill. I had to blur some lines to get that, but that's where our socials are. So that's a big one. We used to have ADC Dental, but he sponsored some FCA stuff. So, but he did give us a bunch of money when we went to nationals and our original push for Jersey. So I'm going to shout him out, Mr. Mulner.
That's good. So getting back to the topic of the potential of becoming an official team, I know you was talking about the freedom and all that, but honestly, do y'all see that in the future for VSU Rugby?
I think it's inevitable
to become an official team.
I think it'll take time, but I think the sport's growing.
The thing is that VSU, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if they add another sport, or I guess it had to be two because Title IX we need a women's one.
Yeah.
So I guess if you put women's rugby in there, it's official sport. You could do that.
Yeah. What do we have, like 12 right now, and then that would get us to 14, which
would put us into D1.
Exactly.
And they don't want that. I don't think they want that.
Well, I'm not sure that they don't want that.
They can't afford it.
They can't afford it because, fun fact, and I learned this when I was video coordinator for Valdosta State football back in the day, it costs exactly $1 million, or at least it used to even apply for Division I status. Mm-hmm. Not meaning that you get Division I status, but even if you apply for it, that's $1 million. Yeah. And gentlemen, where do you think that money's coming from?
Right out of tuition.
Out of the tuition, correct.
So, and I mean, we're not even, I think we may have to get a buyout here soon, maybe. I could be very wrong, but I think somebody's donating some money to VSU, though, somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that through the grapevine. I'm not going to tell my sources in case they're wrong.
Yeah.
But I did hear somewhere per sources that may not be great, but if they are, then you can quote me on this. I'll get all the credit.
Yeah.
I believe we are getting some family to donate like $90 million or something like that.
$90 million.
And I could be wrong, but that's just what I heard from somebody that works at an accounting firm.
Yeah.
that said that he had to do the accounting for it. So
Yeah.
that could be in the works here.
Yeah. Well, all I gotta say is it would be nice for VSU to be Division One. Go and play Mercer and Kennesaw State. I assume that's what I was told. The conference that we'd probably be going in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
West Georgia actually is going Division One next year, but yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
But all I got to say is they can wait a few years. I don't want that coming out of my tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when I leave.
See,
Yeah.
me personally, I'm going to be petty about it, and I don't want that to happen because I've done all this work and gotten zero money for it. And if it happens in a few years and Ronnie gets a scholarship and I don't, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I understand that.
I'm going to come back with a vengeance. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out
That'd be
later.
amazing. I think on the bright side, though, I mean, if you look at it, we go D1, we end up playing those same schools, we can compete with them at the same
That means
level.
we'll finally get a T-shirt.
Yeah, but
nice.
At the end of the day, not even speaking in just rugby terms, but really any sport, basketball, football, baseball, would y'all rather stay at the Division II level and compete for championships or be kind of at the bottom of the barrel at Division I FCS?
See, I think some sports of ours can compete at the FCS level and some can't.
Oh yeah, football definitely can, or at least they used to.
We
I
got
won't
a
get into that,
baller
but-
tennis team, no?
Yeah, our tennis team would
definitely, yeah.
do decent. I think our softball team will do
Softball,
really
definitely.
good. Softball is usually pretty major there. Baseball maybe will do okay.
Maybe.
But I think with higher competition also comes higher level of recruits. Not that we don't recruit,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
recruit great. Because factoid, when I was at VSU, I remember I walked in and one guy was like, "Oh yeah, I just got back from Mississippi State," and one guy was like, "Oh yeah, I just played at Akron." And I'm like, "Oh okay, yeah, so I have no chance." Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think on that aspect it would, and it would for rugby too. Now that we'd actually be able to recruit,
Yeah.
because if I recruit out of high school, that's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's because again the officiality of it. I mean, you're kind of a guy at high school, like, hey, bud.
And we can't offer them anything either,
Yeah, you really
So-
can't.
Which, I mean, a lot of schools do that though. They will, like Auburn, for example, they will go out and recruit kids. We used to have to play Auburn every year, and they actually even recruited me to go to grad school. And I'm like, I'm not going to grad school, even though Auburn, big Auburn fan, War Eagle.
Oh yeah.
So is Ronnie. I actually fun fact, used to live right behind the rugby field and next to Teak, my frat, at Auburn with my
Nice,
parents.
nice.
So it would go full circle. But then I'd have to destroy VSU.
That close.
That close.
Plus.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show today. Really enjoyed having you. Maybe we'll have you again one day. This is Kyle Hawthorne with the Extra Ember signing off.